Hi friends, we are reading the book Unified, a course on truth and practical guidance from Babaji by Roger G. Lamphere. We are into the 15th week, receiving guidance for wise activity. You have arrived. Now you are ready to break out of the womb of this course. You are ready to use all the techniques you have developed. No longer need you worry about what is the wisest course of action. You know because you are unified with your all knowing intelligence and you can find out anything for the asking. No longer need you experience loneliness or lack of love. You are unified with your love and attract it to flow through you. No longer need you experience pain. You are unified with your perfection and can correct any thinking that brings the experience of pain. No longer need you experience anything that qualities, God's qualities. Actually, you never needed to. However, you were buried in a vicious circle of negative individual thoughts that perpetuated experiences of pain, lack, fear, and failure. This is not to say that all your days from now on will be the experience only of God's bliss. It is just that no longer need it be anything else. The techniques that you have work in direct proportion to your doing them regularly and carefully. They do work. For a while, you may need to deal with those stubborn thoughts that are out of sync with God's thought that created you. Until they are neutralized and released, they may continue to manifest experiences. Don't let that impede your diligence. Those thoughts may even set up counter thoughts that this course is silly, or a waste, or ineffective, or even evil. Those thoughts appear almost to have a life of their own, and now they are doing everything they can to save their lives. Just observe that process, but don't buy into the negativity. Practice these techniques with innocence, knowing where they'll take you. Your quiet period now are free for you to receive whatever guidance you want. Your higher self is yours. It is you. Your whole self is now available for any help you need in fulfilling your purpose in life. That is the key now to all your communications with your higher self. Fulfilling your purpose in life. That is really all you are interested in. If you think about it, what is your purpose in life? First, your highest purpose is to return to being unified. Return to the state of knowing who and what you are in truth, and return to the experience of God's qualities. That is your primary purpose, and for that, your higher self has always prodded and guided you. It stands ready now to communicate anything you want to know for that return. Information will be fed to you during your daily quiet periods. Questions on your highest activity will always be answered by either using the yes or no signals or by direct communication. You also have a necessary purpose, and for everyone it is different. That is your daily activity concerned with living. Some call it dharma. It is any activity that makes it easiest for you to realize your primary purpose. Your work, your love life, your reaction, your studies, and your hobbies are all for the purpose of returning you to being unified. On these activities, your higher self is also eager to guide and complete your knowledge. Today and in your quiet periods, from now on, you are to have two sections. First, just be receptive. Receive any knowledge that is wise for you to have will come at that time. Second, you may ask for guidance on any subject, but for each subject, always begin with it is in my highest and wisest interest to ask about subject. If the answer is no, you may want to find out why. Maybe it is because you already know the answer. Maybe it is something you need to work out further without any additional knowledge. Possibly, it is simply an illusion you are dealing with. Explaining a no can be very enlightening. If the answer is yes, find out if your higher self wants to communicate the answer directly to you or whether you should ask more yes or no questions. Usually, your higher self will let you determine which route you want to take. Always preface each substantive questions with is it in my highest or wisest interest to dash, that is, state your desire or possible course of action. If your answer is to a question seems strange, check to see if your aura has an uninvited influences. That always clouds your answer, which may be hard to perceive or may be downright wrong. If your answer to a question is no, it may mean no isn't wise for you to have an answer to that particular question. That is an untrue no. To find out, ask, is that a true no? Remember also that your questions are taken literally. What you say must be what you mean. Carefully choose your words. Always think about any double meaning you might accidentally be putting into your sentence structure. When you ask about the highest and the wisest course of action, know that a yes may not preclude the exact opposite action. It can be in your highest and wisest interest to change jobs. At the same time, it might be in your highest and wisest interest not to change jobs. You will not receive any answer to which is the highest and the wisest. You will only be guided within a board framework because you always have a wide range of choices, any of which would be perfect for you. Your free will is not tampered with. This is because at this delicate stage, while you think of your higher self as separate, you must keep exercising that free will. Your higher self will not allow your free will to become dormant. There are many number of spirits that would love to assert your free will and take over every aspect of your life. That's why you must always use the safeguards during your quiet period. These quiet periods are the key to using your creating formula. You may now use the formula for any desire provided. First, your higher self has confirmed during the quiet period that the desire is in your highest and wisest interest. And second, your higher self has revealed the thoughts you have that stand in the way of that desire. If you have any doubts or questions about the creating formula, clear them up with your higher self during the quiet period. Know that once you have set the formula, it started to manifest. Almighty nature has started to muster all its forces to bring you the experience you desire and believe will happen. Continue, however, to fuel the manifestation daily with creating formula until your experience comes about. Sometimes those nasty individual thoughts are stubborn and need to be burned off more gradually. After all, you have had thoughts of lack of money or lack of love or poor health or whatever for a long time. These thoughts need to be changed. Each time you say the creating formula and deal with them, you are closer getting the experience. Something happens each time.